Well, whether it's healthcare, soil quality, or connectivity, the unique challenges facing rural and remote communities in Australia benefit from dedicated academics tackling those issues head on. To talk about some of the solutions that they're coming up with, Beef TV welcomes a James Cook University professor and two postgraduate students to discuss the individual challenges that they are tackling. Professor Sabina Knight, Lucy Gardner and William Harrington, welcome to Beef.
Thank you. And how amazing.
Isn't this incredible?
Oh, those kids, they're just outstanding.
I know. Do you know what? 4,000 kids come through Beef over the 5 days.
I know. We've had them through our team.
I bet you have. Can we talk a little bit about your career? Because you inspire so many young people in terms of what they're going to do with their lives and how they're going to contribute to rural Australia. Tell us about your career.
Well, I came from a beef background, a sort of sheep, wheat, cotton beef and Australian stock horses. And I did nursing and I went to work in Central Australia to get a little more experience, I had a sense of adventure, I wanted to go further, and I was completely hooked. I'm a remote area nurse through and through. I just tied up, but through that experience of being a remote area nurse and working with communities and working with enterprises like beef and other sheep enterprises that in small rural and remote Australia, passionate about the sustainable industries that we need to have a healthy, vibrant outback culture in Australia.
What do we need? What are the unique challenges?
Well, of course, we've got a lot of people, but we've got even more geography. So we've got people spread over vast distances, highly dispersed populations, well, pretty diverse populations as well. But even though we're widely dispersed, we're clumped together in tiny little towns and communities with long distances in between. So we still need education, we still need healthcare, we need connectivity, we need the energy and the research and the knowledge into the businesses that are running. And so that's us, that's what we're trying to do.
My early journalism career, which was not long-lived, was in a western town in New South Wales, not terribly remote, certainly not by Queensland standards, but I reckon we had a new doctor if we had a doctor like every 6 months. Sometimes you'd have a nurse, everyone's having babies on the way into the next big town because you're doing it on the side of the road, all kind of crazy. Does it require a certain disposition to stick it out in rural and remote health services?
Oh, without a doubt. So you need a strong sense of adventure, but you need a strong sense of understanding the culture of rural and wanting to be part of rural. So it's very difficult to do if you're not connected to the community. So you have to have a life as well as a work life, and they're the sorts of things. One of the reasons where we're here is because this is the biggest rural gathering in Australia, and we want to talk to young families and grandparents and kids around their rural careers, because those rural origin students are the ones we want to come to university to do any one of these careers: veterinary science, IT, law, medicine, nursing, any one of them, because they know now how to live here. They've grown up with it, but we want to teach them how to work here. They're our entrepreneurs of the future.
And even with the three of you representing JCU today, totally different careers, totally different interests. Lucy, you're not from farming and you literally stumbled into a love of soil.
Yes, well, I fell into a gully on my first field trip and broke my leg doing that, but recovered fairly quickly.
You broke your leg and still pursued a career in soil. I like that.
We had some other people helping me out in the field for a bit, but then I got back into it and it was good. But I don't have any connections really in agriculture. It was all new to me. I come from more environmental science background, doing soils and a bit of grass and coding, tech sort of things. And then, sort of ag space opened up and I thought, I might try that out, and I really love it.
You're doing some pretty intensive work in the space of grass and the beef industry up north.
Mm-hmm. So we use, we're basically studying Mitchell grass. So Mitchell grass is a 3P grass. It's the single most important native grass species in Northern Australia. So it's productive, perennial and a palatable grass species. So we fly drones across Mitchell grass rangelands and use AI to point out where those tussocks are, because it's a really good grass that is in big tussock clumps, as I'm sure a lot of people here probably are familiar with. And then that gives you an indicator of land condition to make on-ground decisions, basically.
So typically this grass has been assessed via on-ground assessments. You're looking at doing it a different way. Why and how?
Yeah, well, there's on-ground methods like LCAT, so land condition assessment tool, that's quite popular popular with NRM groups and government organisations. So they can be a little bit subjective and they only cover like a smaller area, but they're really highly detailed. Or you've got the other end of the spectrum, which is using satellite imagery, which is a more broad scale cover and gives you sort of like a rough estimate of land condition. But by sort of coming in between both, where we're flying a drone and getting really high resolution imagery over a large area, we can get some really important information out of that.
So we've talked a bit of health, we've talked a bit of environment. Now, William, you actually grew up in the cattle industry, but you studied computer science.
Absolutely, yeah. No, a bit of a strange one. I've been really lucky to, I guess, know what I always wanted to do. So once I finished school, I went straight to JCU in Townsville and studied computer systems engineering.
And you've used that in a number of different ways on some really profound innovations in agriculture. Talk us through them.
Sure, yeah, no. So while I was an undergrad at JCU, the NIL system came in, RFID for cattle. So I actually built an RFID reader while I was at university, and so that was really exciting. So commercialised that, started a business while I was at university, because I always wanted to try and use my skills to bring them back to improve in agriculture. So that was a great thing, and then I moved on to developing some water monitoring technologies as well to try and help make it easier to keep an eye on all the water troughs, not having to drive as much, and save a lot of time and money for the producers. And now I'm currently got a business trying to build high-speed internet connectivity to northwest Queensland. It's been very rewarding.
Now, I'm going to ask you all to put a bet on the breed that you think just took out champion female. We're going to cross live into main ring. We're going to get Martin Bunyard on our screens to bring us the results live. Lucy, which breed do you think took out champion female just now?
Oh my God, good Jowdies.
It's got to be the Bradford.
I saw an amazing speckle part.
All right, let's see who it is.